Fine. So see, don't ask the questions in between the session. So end of the session, I will ask each and every person. So what you are having doubts and all. So right. So I will start my session. I'm starting the recording. So end of the session, I will ask if you have any doubts. End of the session, I will clear all doubts. Okay. Fine, right? So this is very important. Please follow the all the terminology, all the components inside the Kafka, and how we are integrating Kafka, and how we are going to uh, run in a local how we are going to install Kafka, and how we are going to run locally. So what are the components are there inside Kafka, and the same we are replicating the Spring Boot also. So how we are integrating the Kafka with the Spring Boot, and how we are producing and data, and how we are consuming data, we will see now. Okay, fine, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm resuming recording. Sure, fine. So this is nothing but a Spring Boot integration with Apache Kafka. So before starting a direct application, we need to see what is Kafka, and around some information related to Kafka we should know. So as we know, Spring Boot and Spring Boot application, Spring Boot, how the Spring Boot is behaving, but we don't know about Kafka. So we are going to see now the Kafka. So how it is behaving. So what are the components are playing roles inside the Kafka, and the terminology related the internal Kafka components. So that is what we are going to see now. The major components are two. One is the producer and one is the consumer. So producer is nothing but we are saving data, we are producing data inside the Kafka, where we are producing. The producer API is to publish. Publish means we are saving or we are writing a stream of events to one or more Kafka topics, which here Kafka topics. What is Kafka topic? A topic is nothing but a storage area where we can store the data via producer. So simply topic is a storage area inside the Kafka, right? So we can call Kafka now. We can call it as a Kafka is a cluster, or Kafka is a some server container, right? So using Kafka, we can produce API. We can produce the producer API to publish, which means write a stream of events. Events means the actions to one or more Kafka topics. So whatever we want to store data via producer, we can store. What is consumer? The consumer API is to subscribe, to read, which means the internally whenever you are producing a data in the topic, the automatically consumer read the data from the one or more topics and process the stream of events produced to them, which means it will consuming and it will produce in somewhere wherever it is we required. So we will see now. So we will see the terminology and related to Kafka. So this is what the major components of Kafka. Now I am sharing some some information related to Kafka. Okay. So let me
So Revere,
yeah.
Kafka is similar to MQTT broker.
Yes, it is a correct. Exactly.
Okay.
So let me yeah. Now see. So let me share the notes related to Kafka or information related to Kafka. So what is Apache Kafka? Apache Kafka is an open source streaming processing software platform. It is a streaming platform, which means we can send data, bulk of data. We can process bulk of data offering Kafka. So that is the reason Apache Kafka is an open source streaming processing software platform, which is used to handle the real-time data storage, which is used to handle the real-time data storage. So all Android software companies, they are using to stream the data. Whoever wants to stream the bulk of data, they can use the Apache Kafka. So this is the open source and streaming processing software platform, right? So it works as a broker between two parties. It works as a broker between. So it is works as a broker between two parties. One is sender and one is receiver, which means sender is nothing but a producer, and the receiver is nothing but a consumer. So inside the Kafka components or inside the Kafka elements. So it works as a broker between two parties. So I want to publish the data. You want to consume the data. So at that time, I am a producer. You are a consumer. So like that, the two components it will offer in Apache Kafka. One is producer, one is consumer. So the same thing we can say one is sender, one is a receiver. Fine. So it handle about a trillions of data events in a day. So trillions of data events in a day. So that is what the Kafka standards. That is what Kafka uh, I can say strength. The strength of Kafka is it is handled about a trillions of data events in a day. So in one day we can send a bulk of huge amount of data. So that is what Kafka is offering. Fine. Now up to here, what is Kafka? We know. So now these trillions of data is nothing but we can say messaging system, right? So this is the data in terms of messages. So what is messaging system? See, a messaging system is a simple exchange of messages between two or more persons and devices, etc. Yes, a message is nothing but a I can send a message you or the one system can send a message to another system. So one service can say service system in the sense inside on top of system or inside the system. Of course, the service will be run. The service will produce a service will send some amount of data. Another service will take the another whatever they are sending the data. So like that, this the whole process we can call it as a messaging processing process. So a messaging system is a simple exchange of messages between two or more persons and devices, etc. Fine. So how can they process a publish and subscribe messaging system, which means publish means sender or publish and subscribed in the sense consuming. So publish and subscribe messaging system. See, whenever I have some channel, YouTube channel, something like that, whenever you subscribe, automatically you're consuming data. Why? Because whenever I'm publishing or uploading data in my YouTube channel, you are getting a notification from the YouTube channel, right? So like that, the Kafka will give the notification when the notification and it will also give the data to you. So that is what a publish and subscribe. So in that purpose, we can use a publish and subscribe a message system allows a sender, sender, send and write a message into the receiver to read the message, right? So allows a sender to send and read, and the message of a receiver read the message. Fine. So this is nothing but a publish and subscribe system. And in Apache Kafka, I already told you here what is sender, what is receiver. That is what I conveyed here. So in Apache Kafka, a sender is known as a producer who publish the messages. Simply, who publish the messages. We can call it as a sender. And a receiver is known as a consumer who consumes the data, who consumes that messages by subscribing it. So whenever you are subscribing, you automatically you get the notification or you automatically get the data who are publishing the messages inside the Kafka topics. So that is what it is a messaging system. Fine. So how all this process we can call it as a streaming process. So what is streaming process? The streaming process is the processing of data parallelly connected systems. Correct. Exactly. Parallelly connected system in the sense if you are subscribing your YouTube channel, you person one maybe subscribe the same channel, person two maybe subscribe the same channel. So multiple persons subscribe the same channel, right? So whenever I'm publishing my video into the YouTube channel, all persons will get the notification parallelly connected devices, whether your mobile or whether your desktop. So whatever you subscribe to the YouTube channel from your source, so all are get the parallelly connected system. So that is nothing but a streaming processing. So one time at a time, you guys all guys are get the notification. You guys all get the processing the data in parallelly connected systems. So whenever I'm publishing that video or whenever I'm publishing the data in Kafka cluster or Kafka server or Kafka broker. So I will tell you what is broker and all. As of now, I can say assume the Kafka server. So the subscribed people also get the parallel connected system. Fine. This process allows you different applications to limit the parallel execution of the data. Fine. Parallel execution of data, where one record executes without waiting for the output of the previous record. See, here also it is working as a asynchronous. It is working like a asynchronous. So the second record will not, or third record will not wait for the second record, or fourth record will not for the third record. So independently work each and every record. So that is what I conveyed here. This process allows different applications to limit the parallel execution. This is a parallel execution, not a sequential execution, where one record executes without waiting for the output of the previous record. So once you publish, so again it will be consumed by the different records. So it will not depend on the previous record or other records. So that is what I conveyed here. Now, therefore, based on these two these two comments, I can say a distributed streaming platform enables the user to simplify the task of streaming, processing, and parallel execution. Simply, the distributed streaming platform, it's easy. It is offering to easy way to process the data in a parallel execution. So that is what Kafka offering. Therefore, the system platform Kafka has the following key capabilities. So whatever we are discussing, all are key capabilities. So this is the Kafka cluster. You can produce from one application, another application, multiple applications. You can produce the same. The produce and consume, we can call it as a stream process. Stream process. So bulk of data, we can call it as a stream of records processing and consuming. So whenever the we are producing inside the Kafka, there are some listeners are there. The listeners will always keep listening the producer data. So whenever the producer saving or publishing the data to the Kafka topics inside the Kafka cluster. So automatically the listeners will help to consume the data. So without irrespective of your, you need to configure the consumer configuration in your application. Simply automatically data consuming, and we can publish to the wherever we required. So we can process this data. So that is what this Kafka cluster and producer and consumer diagram. So here you can see, as soon as stream of records occur, so as soon as stream of records occur, which means we are publishing stream of records here, it processes it. Simply it will process. So it works as a similar enterprise messaging system wherever the publish subscriber streams of records. See, so this is what the use case. So in an enterprise systems, if they want to publish and subscribe stream of records, we can use it. Works similar kind of behavior. So for example, YouTube is there. So whenever the people are subscribed, so whenever the records are occurred, when one video is uploaded, simply it will process it. So simply you people will get the notifications, you people will get the video of that data. So that is what here it is, I said. So it's similar to an enterprise messaging system where it publishes and subscribes stream of records. Fine. It stores a stream of records in a fault tolerant durable way. See, hey, here one terminology I use one term, fault tolerant. What is fault tolerant? Fault tolerant design. So this is one kind of design enables a system continues it intended operation means continuous operation possible by reduced level rather than failing completely. So whenever we are using it will not fail the stream of records processing when the some parts of system fails. See, whenever the external service is down, you want to see your mobile is, for example, your mobile is switched off, right? You need to get the notification. At that time it will keep on trying to your when the mobile is switched on, which means when the service is up, so then immediately it will consume, it will publish to your system of your YouTube app in your computer or your mobile. So that is what Kafka consumer will do. So that is the reason I said it is a, sorry, it is a fault tolerant mechanism it will follow. So that is the reason it is a, there is a failure cases are very less. So whenever we are using a Kafka, so the consumers will always keep on touch you, keep on hitting you until the message is published to your system. So that is what a consumer will do. So that this whole process we can say it as a fault tolerant durable way, fault tolerant, right? Now the terminals. So this is what Kafka behavior and message processing in terms of producer and consumer, in terms of sender and receiver. Fine. Now we will see terminology inside the Kafka. Topics, as I said, topics are nothing but a storage area. A stream of messages belong to a particular category is called topic. Particular category, which means employee data or some organization data or some other kind of activities data. So stream of messages belong to a particular activity or particular category called as a topic. Data storage, data stored in a topic. So I already said, right? So topics are nothing but a storage areas in Kafka. So that is nothing but a topics. Fine. Partitions. What is partitions? Topics are storage areas, right? So in the storage area, we can divide it some partitions. So that is nothing but a partition. So partition topics may have many partitions. Topics may have many partitions, which means we can divide data into different partitions inside the topic. So that is what I said here. Topics may have many partitions, so it can handle arbitrary amount of data. Hey, this is also one new terminology. What is arbitrary? So arbitrary is nothing but a arbitrary data is any data in any format. So Kafka is offering you can store arbitrary amount of data. Arbitrary amount of data means which does not care what format of data you are saving. So that is what Kafka is giving chance to us. That is what Kafka is offering us. So arbitrary data is any data in any format. We can store or we can publish PDF kind of data, we can publish doc kind of data, we can publish Excel kind of data, we can publish plain text kind of data, we can publish JSON kind of data. So any format data it will take. Fine. Partition option. Okay, we have a different partitions in topic. So what is option? Each partition message has a unique sequence ID called as option. Of course, why? Because why we not option? Why? Because in each topic we have a different partitions. So if you are having a different partition, you should maintain the uniqueness of each and every partition. That uniqueness is nothing but a option. That uniqueness is nothing but a offset. So each partitioned message has a unique sequence ID called as option. Fine. So what is replicas of partition? So replicas are nothing but a backups of partition. So Kafka is offering to maintain some backup also. You should not worry. You are not worrying about. You should not. Don't worry about the. If you are losing data, where you can resume or where you can recollect the data. So Kafka itself and maintain a replicas of each and every partition. So replicas are never read and write data. They are used to prevent the data loss. So whenever you are losing the data, you can simply go back to your replicas inside the Kafka cluster. You can get your losing data. So that is what the replica. So how it is how beautiful Kafka is. We can send it trillions of data in a day. We can send it trillions of data in a fault tolerance way. We can get the data if we lost. So that is what Kafka will maintain. Fine. So up to now the behavior and up to now we can know some areas of in topics. Now see the Kafka cluster, which means Kafka server. So cluster is nothing but it will maintain more instances inside the server. So that process or that server we can call it as a cluster. Cluster means more than one server. So Kafka is having more than one broker. So each instance inside the Kafka treated as a broker. Instance of in Kafka, it is treated as a broker. So broker is nothing but one instance or one server inside the Kafka cluster. So called as a Kafka cluster. So having more than one broker are called as a Kafka cluster. So Kafka cluster can be expanded without downtime. Already I told you, this is working as a fault tolerant way. So which means it should not having any downtime. It should not give any downtime. The clusters are used to manage the persistence and the replication of message data. I already told you. The Kafka itself, it will maintain, we can store the data and we can maintain the replication. So that is what Kafka cluster will do. These clusters are used to manage data persistence. Persistence in the sense, we are saving the data, we are publishing the data in the topic. So that is what the Kafka is maintaining. And the replication of message data. So I already told you. So each and every partition will have a backup taken care by the Kafka cluster. Fine. Now, I already said Kafka is maintaining some brokers, right? So what is brokers? Brokers are simply system responsible for maintaining published data. Simply whatever we are publishing the data, that maintaining data, it will take care of the brokers inside the Kafka cluster. So each broker may have 0 or more partitions as per the topic. So one topic will have a one or more partitions. So that is what here I mentioned. Each broker may have 0 or more partitions per topic. So one topic may have a one partition or many partitions. Here that is what I said. So Kafka cluster typically consists of multiple brokers to maintain load balance, right? So cluster, whenever you are getting a, whenever you are consuming a data, it will make the load balancing. For example, we are consuming multiple thousands of consumers at a time consuming the data. So at that time, the Kafka cluster will take care of to maintain that load to give the responses with a different from the different places from different brokers. It will maintain some load balance also. It will maintain a load balance, typically maintain a load balance also. Fine. Kafka brokers are stateless. So these are the stateless. So actually, this will not give the response directly. So it will take the response of some other platform. That platform is nothing but a zookeeper for maintaining cluster state. So we have a multiple clusters or multiple brokers where we need to stand. So Kafka is giving some multiple brokers and it will maintain load balance and all, but it should not have a some platform. That platform is nothing but a zookeeper. Zookeeper is one of the server. It will on top of zookeeper, Kafka will stand. So based on the zookeeper is nothing but a base for the Kafka cluster. So Kafka cluster will stand on the zookeeper. So it will act as a whatever it is having a behavior of Kafka cluster. So zookeeper is nothing but a one more server. It will act as a platform to the Kafka. So Kafka brokers are stateless. So they are using zookeeper for maintaining Kafka cluster state. Fine. So one Kafka broker instance can handle hundreds of and thousands of read and writes per second. Each broker can handle terabytes of message without performance impact. So simply I said, right, we have a trillions of data in a day. So that is what I conveyed here. One Kafka broker instance. So only one instance inside the Kafka cluster can handle hundreds of thousands of read and write, which means produce and consume. So send and receiver per second. See, 1 second we can thousands of records we can pass. So on each broker can be handled terabytes of messages without performance impact. So that is what Kafka is offering: high readability, so high availability, high scalability. So why? Because it is maintaining a load balance. So this high robust, so very strong system. So sorry, that is the reason most of the enterprise system, wherever they need publish and subscribe use cases, so they are using a Kafka as a stream of data processing. Fine. Now the zookeeper, I already told you, right? The zookeeper is nothing but a platform of a Kafka platform. So zookeeper is used to maintain coordinating a Kafka clusters. So on top of zookeeper, the Kafka brokers are running, and zookeeper will coordinate each and every broker to send and receive. It will take care of the broker's behavior. So zookeeper service is mainly used to notify the producer and consumer about the persistence of any new broker in Kafka system or failure of any broker in the Kafka system. Simply, it will it will tell, hey consumer, you have a data from the producer. So consumer will take care of consuming. If the persistence is not saving the data, and a Kafka system failure, if it is a failure, somewhere it will tell, hey Kafka cluster, something is failing. It will notify the Kafka system or Kafka cluster. So that is what zookeeper will do. So why? Because Kafka cluster itself is stateless. So that is the reason it will take the help of zookeeper. So as per the notification received by the zookeeper regarding regarding persistence of failure of the broker, then producer and consumer take decision and starts coordinating their task with some other broker. So whenever the zookeeper is informed some failure notification to the consumer and producer, so consumer and producer will take coordinating each other, that and it will do some other broker, which means it will maintain the load balance, right? If it is failing, it will take help of some other broker to process the same failure of data like that. So that is what is zookeeper. Now, sorry, we already discussed about Kafka cluster and topic and all, right. Now we will see the what is producer and what is consumer. Producers are nothing but publishers of messages, one or more Kafka topics. As we know, right? Producer is nothing but we are saving, we are publishing, we are persisting a data in one or more topics. So based on the category of data. Fine. Producers send the data to Kafka brokers. Producer, once we can receive the data from the producer, it will simply the producer will maintained by the brokers. So that is nothing but producer send data to the Kafka brokers. Fine. Every time producer publishes a message to a broker, the broker simply appends the message to the last segment file. It will maintain some one by one record. So that is what it is a queue type. Fine. What is consumers? Consumers are read data from the brokers. Simply whenever we are having a data in a broker published by the producer, simply consumer will take data from the brokers. So consumers are subscribes to one or more topics. Consume published message by publishing pulling the data from the broker. So it is simply it will take the data from the broker and it will publish wherever it is required. Simply it will give the simply publish it in the sense it will give the data wherever it is required. Fine. Up to here, just we know what is Kafka and internal behavior of Kafka, internal components of Kafka, and uses of Kafka. Now we need to install Kafka in our local. We need to check how the topic we are creating, how the zookeeper server is started, how the Kafka server is started, how the topic is created, how the we need to publish the data using producer, how the consumer is reading data. We will see in our local system. Then the same thing we will replicate in using Spring Boot application. Now you need to download. You can whatever we are discussing, the same topic you can take from here, no issue. So download Kafka from here. So open here simply this link. So Kafka you can download here. So this is the Kafka, right? So you can download how we can download what is Apache Kafka. The Kafka platform will tell you. The Kafka platform. This is the documentation related to Kafka. Fine. So now coming to here, once before running the application, you need to follow these steps. What is the steps? Go to Kafka. After downloading, you can put like this. So let me open. Let me share my C drive. Let me share my C drive. So after opening, you can see C drive. This is the Kafka. Simply you can extend and you can put the here. So after that, if you open this bin, inside the bin, this is the Linux related commands. If you are Windows, you can open window folder. So Windows also we have a same replica of bat files, starting files. So before running this, following this, right, we need to have some logs here. So zookeeper logs and K logs, Kafka logs. We need to maintain some logs inside the Kafka server. It will not have some sufficient data. We need to give our memory space to store the logs. So zookeeper and server. Now zookeeper logs are empty, and why? Because it is the right, and Kafka logs are empty. Okay, you are created some log folders, but you need to give the a path of that logs, right? So in that you can open config. Inside the config, zookeeper properties are there. Open this zookeeper properties in using this notepad, and let me share that notepad also. So yeah, here data directory C logs. So that is what we need to give. So that whenever we are starting a zookeeper, the zookeeper will load the logs in this folder. So we need to give this log path in a zookeeper properties. So now I'm closing this zookeeper, and again I'm opening server dot properties, which means Kafka server dot properties. So in the Kafka server dot properties, you need to give the K logs, Kafka logs. So this is what a logs directory, data directory or logs directory. You can give any name, no issue. So C:/K logs. So we are giving our local memory space. So otherwise Kafka itself having lot of memory, right? It will take lot of memory. We may get the memory related exceptions. For that, we need to give some storage areas to store logs. It will generate some thousands of data at a time. So now fine. So now you can open bin and Windows. So you can open here CMD file, command prompt. So command prompt. Let me share the command prompt also. Fine. So this is the command prompt. Now you are coming here. First of all, the steps you need to follow to run. You can open the command prompt window and name title name. Why? Because we need a parallel command prompts. We need more than one command prompt. One is Zookeeper, one is Kafka server, one is topic, one is consumer, one is producer. So you have a 5 terminal CMD terminals. How the Kafka is to run each and every component in a Kafka. So these things are you don't need to do manually in your day-to-day work. This will take care. The Kafka server is already running in your one of your environment. So, but in our case, we need to run each and every to work. Our project is working for. We need to give the Kafka server run and availability. So then only we can work. We can test our Spring Boot application. So that I'm using this one. So title. So what the title? We are working multiple windows, right? So that is the reason I'm giving each and every window as a title. Title Zookeeper. First one is the Zookeeper, right? So this is you can see here Zookeeper. So title is the Zookeeper. So now if you see here, so we have a steps. One is the Zookeeper start. After that Kafka start. After the topic you need to create. After that console, and after that consumer. One is the producer, one is the consumer. Fine. So here I already have some steps. Yeah, this is what. So start Zookeeper. So Zookeeper. So let me start this one. Fine. So it is going to start now. Fine. It is started. And again, you need to open the one more terminal for Kafka server. Let me share that also. Now it is title KAFK Kafka server. So this terminal is related to Kafka server. Let me take that command to run Kafka server. So we are running a Kafka server now. Fine. Kafka server is running and starting. So once we have a Kafka server on top of Zookeeper, you can create a topics now to store data via producer. Then consumer will automatically consume. So now you can create a topic. So here Kafka topics, create a hyphen Zookeeper on top of Zookeeper. This is the local host. We'll work on the Zookeeper. Replication factor 1. So we can maintain more than one replica, right? I already told you. So replication factor 1 and partitions 1. So one topic will have a more than one partition, right? So I by default I'm giving a one partition. Topic name is the demo topic. So topic name is the demo topic. So you can give any topic name. So topic name is the demo topic, and open one more CMD file for topic CMD. So title. So let me share the screen. So title TOP topic. So just topic, and I'm giving the command. I'm executing this. So created topic demo topic. Created topic called demo topic. It is created a topic. So now we have a data storage area also. Now we can open the producer. Now we can open the producer by using this topic. We can run the producer on demo topic on the Zookeeper broker list. So we can open one more terminal for producer CMD. So let me share this one also. Yeah, now it is a title producer. So now you can run on demo topic using demo topic. Now the producer is ready. Let's open consumer. So if you publish the data, consumer will automatically it will consume the. Let me share let me share other terminal also. So you can title this one as a consumer. So by avoiding confusion, we are giving each and every terminal as a name, consumer, title name consumer. Now you can run consumer also. Now you can run consumer also. Now you can run consumer also. So just simply running consumer. Simply running consumer. Now if you see here, so just I want to take for producer and consumer. Why? Because server is running, zookeeper is ready, and topic is also ready. Right? So if you see here, so what is the behavior of Kafka? What is the behavior of Kafka? If you given the data here, you are able to see producer and consumer on my screen, right? Fine. Now, so if you give in the producer, this is the producer, this is the producer, this is the consumer. If you give any data here, automatically without your interact, the consumer will read the data here. So give data here, publish, which means we are publishing the message in the topic from the producer. Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Just I'm clicking enter. I'm clicking enter. See, the consumer is reading the data. So inside Kafka, in terms of consumer, it is having some listeners. Whenever the message is coming, whenever the message is published in the publisher, automatically consumer will take the data. We need to catch this data. We need to publish somewhere. We need to process somewhere. So that is what consumer will give. So that is what consumer will give. So you don't need to again call the data. Simply you can configure the consumer. Automatically it will give the data. So you need to catch this data simply. So hey, hello Veer, simply enter. So automatically it will come. So like that we can use Kafka producer and consumer. Like that we can publish the data. The same data we are processing using Spring Boot application. That is what we are going to see now. So this is the local running. So we are keeping the server is up and running. Otherwise, the application will not work. So now we are going to integrate the Kafka into the Spring Boot application. That is what we are going to see now.
Veer.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, what happens if the consumer application is down, for example, and the producer are sending some amount of messages?
It will give
yes.
it will until the we will get the logs in some a console of application. The consumer is one of the broker will waiting for the down, one of the broker for the down, it will show the messages. So based on the Kafka will give the information to you. Hey, consumer is down, to take the records from the producer. At that time you need to up the consumer simply.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, fine. Now I'm created a demo topic here. Created demo topic, and Kafka Bootstrap server is running in this it is running in this so we no need this one worker thread. Forget about this worker thread and timelines. So consider these two and a group, and also by default it is expecting some group. So consumer group, I am giving some sample group, and the topic name is the demo topic. That is what we created now. This is the server is running. Kafka server is running in this port. So fine. And coming to Pomlet XML, you need to give the Kafka dependency. The version will take care of the Spring Boot. So no need to give the version. Simply you can give the Kafka Spring Kafka dependency here. Fine. Remaining all are Swagger and all. So you need to have a web. Why? Because we are going to write some controller by consuming the to take the data from producer to give the data to the consumer. So for that you need to configure the producer and consumer in our main class. Apart from that, see here we have a Kafka model. Model in the sense the item. I'm taking an item as a some POSO, which will store the which will hold the data ID and name and category. Some kind of item data I'm giving. Fine. So and messages are nothing but we need to configure one producer and we need to have a one producer service and one consumer service. one producer service, one consumer service, fine. And controller and config. Come to the config, I will tell you the producer and consumer. So Kafka configuration is, but Kafka configuration is the one class. So this is the one class. So where we are loading all the properties which are already mentioned in application properties file. Fine. So this is the Kafka config. So whenever you are using a third-party libraries or third-party components, you need to tell to Spring container, hey, I am using Kafka related some information. You need to enable. So how we are giving a enable Swagger for Swagger third-party software. The same way we need to enable the Kafka also. So like that, I am giving a enable Kafka. Fine. Configuration. So when we are doing a configuration inside the class, you need to tell the Spring in a proper way. Hey, Spring container, I am doing some configuration related information here. You need to take care when your running application is running. You need to take care of the creating a beans and all whatever I configured in my inside the configuration class. So that is what at that configuration we are telling to the Spring container. Hey, I am doing some configuration related information. You need to take care about that configuration. So that is what we are saying Spring container via at that Spring configuration. Fine. So obviously this is required here. Why? Because all the properties from the properties file we are loading from this configuration file. Fine. So producer bean. So producer, first of all, producer configuration. Later we will see the consumer configuration. So this is nothing but a producer configuration. So one is the producer factory. Why? Because we have a more than one cluster, right? So that is the reason we have a producer factory. Inside that we are calling a producer config. This is what a producer config. So it is nothing but we are storing a string comma object manner. We are storing the data. So we are creating some map object here. Producer dot bootstrap server config. So where the server is there, we need to give the server related information. Along with that, the producer key serialized class config and value serialized class config. So whenever we are processing a data, the data itself it is a serialized. So that is what we need to tell by using string serializer class. Just we are configuring to allow us our serialization data in terms of key value pairs. So that is what a producer config. So now I am giving a producer config to the producer factory. So we can have a more than one config. So that is the reason I am using a producer factory here. Fine. So now Kafka template. So to publish data, we have some kind of connectivity to the Kafka server, right? So this is the Kafka is offering us to a template. So template.send you can use. So this is what a template related information. In this template, producer config we are configuring. In here, default producer factory we are giving a producer config. So whatever we have a producer config here. So we are using here. So the producer configs here we are using and template. So we are returning the template by configuring the producer here. So fine. Up to here, we have a producer config and also we have a Kafka template. To using template, we can produce the data. Fine. Now, once we produce the data, how can we consume? Consuming data also, you need to configure. Kafka listeners container factory. I already told you. Inside the consumers, there are listeners. So that listener will keep on listening the what messages are coming from the producer. So listener factory we need to create. So concurrent message listeners. Concurrent in the sense, in a multiple messages, it will give the thread shape. It will take care by the concurrency to avoid data consistency. So concurrent will manage. So like that, factory that set consumer. Consumer factory we need to set. How with the Kafka template we are setting a producer config. Like that we need to set a consumer factory to this listener factory. So consumer factory is the consumer factory. I'm creating it. Inside the consumer factory, we have a consumer configurations. What is this consumer configuration? This is the bootstrap server we are providing, and the group. This is a sample group. So by default group, it is expecting some group under topics. We are providing a group and key value pair serialization. Key value pair serialization, and also enable auto commit config false. So you should not auto commit. We are taking the value from the consumer. So that is what I mentioned here. Otherwise, it will coming and it will delete the message from the topic. So that feature we are disabling here by giving false, auto commit false. So this is the consumer config. So the same consumer config we have a consumer factory. The same consumer factory we are configuring the Kafka listeners. So Kafka listener will take care about whenever the message or data coming from the producer. So listener will keep on listen when the producer is having message. Whenever it is having a message, automatically producing the messages to the wherever the producer service is calling by our developer. Fine. So this is what Kafka configuration. If you open producer, you need a Kafka template. I already told you. Basic using template, we are sending a data to the Kafka cluster. So we need to take the topic. So then only we can send the exact data into the topic, right? We are taking the JSON data and we are passing the JSON data to the source place, target place. So this is the source and this is the target. This is the destination. So source is our JSON invoice JSON, some invoice data, some data here. So this is what our topic where we are saving the data, where we are publishing the data file. So once we publish the data, the consumer automatically listen. So Kafka configuration, from the configuration we need a demo topic and we need a group name and we need Kafka listener factory. So from listener factory it will automatically load the publisher published by the data. So listener factory is nothing but our configuration class. So our configuration class, this is what a listener, Kafka listener factory. So the same I given here. So listener factory, container factory is Kafka listener factory. Fine. So automatically it will consume the string item. So in terms of string JSON, so automatically it will come. We are not calling here. See, we are not calling here. Consumer will take care of the automatically it will give. We need to catch this. So we see how it will work. So I'm running the project now. I'm running debugging. Just I'm running the project now. Spring Boot application. So yeah, it is running. The project is started. Just I'm disabling the debug. The project is started here. So just I'm opening here. So Swagger. So just I'm opening the Swagger. Allow controller. So here you need to give the item category some Java category. I'm giving ID is 100. The name of the book or item name Java microservices. Java microservices is the name. This is related to Java category. This is the ID for this item. So simply I'm executing. Simply message published successfully in the Kafka topic. And if you see console, you will get the consumed message. So we are printing, right? So if you see here, we are taking the message here. We are just printing consumed message. If you can see the same message from consumer console also. So here we are getting ID 100 name, some values, key value pairs. This is the keys and this is the values. So this is what a Kafka producer and consumer. So let me debug again. Enable the debug and let me print one more record so that you will understand. Simply configuration and taking this and this is testing related and the ID is 101. Here I'm giving a Java Selenium. Fine. So just I'm giving. So here we are getting a post item. So here post item. What is the item? We are getting. As you know, this what we are giving there, we are getting a as what a response body as item. So here before sending this item string using object mapper, we are writing value as a string. So this is the object of item, right? We are converting to the string. So now it is a string of item values, string of Java object, request object. So here producer dot publish. So here producer dot publish item. Automatically it will go to the consumer. Using Kafka template, we can consume the data. So here, yeah, we can Kafka template. Using Kafka template, we are sending the data. So here I'm writing a publish item here inside the producer service or producer service. This is the service, right? So we are getting some invoice or some related information. You can mention anything here, string variable. So now Kafka template that send to the Kafka topic, to this particular topic. It is my source, so it will automatically send. So whenever we are sending, see automatically the flow is coming. The listener is sending, the listener is automatically taking that message. So whatever we are publishing the data, it is automatically taking from the listener, consumer. So from here you can process data wherever you want. If you want to process this data in the database, you can save the data. If you want to process the data to the external service, you can call external service here, you can process the data. If you want to process the data to the one of the external service, whether it is a devices, whether it is any other kind of external services, you can go from here. So based on the consumer data. So now you see the second data is coming. Second data and first data, after first data, second data is coming. The same message you can see here also. So this is what Kafka producer and consumer. So thanks friends, and thanks for your patience. And do we have any questions now?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me.
You just can transfer string, right? For example, you want to send an object, you need to serialize it first, right?
Yeah, we need to send a stream of data in one format. So obviously in our microservices, by default we are calling JSON, right? So that is the reason I converted the data into JSON format.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you can send any format, but before sending we need to sense, we need to make our convenience. So if it is an object, we need to transfer object to our JSON format, external format. So instead of that, in a generic format of our microservices is the JSON format, right? So other people, whenever they're consuming the service to other people, I am writing producer and consumer here, but it will not happen all the times. So one service of people, they can produce the data. One service of people, they can consume the data. So in that time, we need to give the proper format. So in a generic or universal format of microservices, that is nothing but a JSON format. So that is the reason I converted that object into the JSON format. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, friends, and we will catch the next class. Our next class is Spring Cloud. We are entering into the cloud. Up to this Kafka, our normal classes are gone. Now we are entering into step into the Kafka cloud. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will give you this part. Okay. Yeah. Fine.
Bye.